Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. The chapter of Bleach we've been waiting for ever since we started this shindig back in chapter 452. This is it. The return of Sosuke Aizen. Now, I know a lot of you are afraid of what's to come. I've never actually personally harped on the guy as he was currently in the canon of the series, so I'm pretty excited. But what I need from you two is to get ready from all aspects with every single skit and joke you can possibly think of. I'm talking about suicide bricks, called that shit dances, shoulda gone bonkai. It's supposed to be my catchphrase, but I hardly ever say it. I don't know why. So really, I just need us all to work together on this to make a perfect video in terms of satirizing this popular villain. Okay, Tekking, I'm sorry, I'm just getting distracted. Did you get a haircut or something? Because there's something different about you, and I cannot for the life of me put a finger on it. Huh? Oh, sorry, dude, I lost my hat the other day. It was just an accident, really. Oh, no, that's not gonna fly, okay? There's already 4 of us running around here. No, we need to find another hat, like, right now. Is that really necessary? Okay, I really got to side with Law on this. I mean, the baseball cap, I mean, the sunglasses are cool and everything, but the cap is your thing, bro. That's how people know that you are truly rad. Fine. Then I'm off on a radical hat quest. Okay, and you just know that he's just gonna come back in wearing a bunch of fucking stupid hats this entire video. Hey everybody, Tekking101 here, here to review Bleach chapter number 616 entitled Mimi Hagi-sama. Mimi Hagi-sama. Alright, so 2 of these in 1 week. We got this. I got this shit. Alright, so chapter starts off in the Chrysalis Palace where we have Yuha Bach elaborating to Orihime and Ichigo how there's simply no way, no matter what they do, no matter what moves they try, they will not be able to revive the Soul King. Yeah, no moves will work at all, eh, Yuha? I'm not sure about that. I'm pretty good at combos with my 6 Samurai deck myself, although I know that class is sort of dying. Dragoonities are pretty good if you know how to use them correctly, but better archetype for combos there. Insectors are really good, but god damn it, I hate Insectors. You kill one and they pop back up at the spell trap card zone, you take them out, more pop up, milling through your deck. God fucking damn it, I hate Insectors. Okay, that was a rant. Maybe about 30% of you understood. Alright, moving on. Yeah, after that little taste of hopelessness, then we cut away to the 3 dimensions that are currently being affected by the collapse of, all reality, I guess. Although we don't get to see the Don guy, although I'm sure really exciting shit's going on in the Don guy right about now. No, we get a glance of Mundo where we see a bunch of hollows running away in fear, aimlessly. It's like, hey guys, this part of the desert's collapsing. Let's head over to that other blank part of the desert, because that is totally different from this park. I don't know. But when I saw this, like, impression of just a bunch of random hollows running around the place, I got, like, Jurassic Park vibes. Like, after Aizen was defeated, they should have set up like some kind of amusement park in Mundo where they could witness the hollows in their natural environment. Yeah, that would have been pretty cool for a movie. Then we cut over to the living world where we see Keigo and Mizuriro, who is a little bit confused by the fact that there's no earthquake reports on TV, despite the fact that the earthquake, while slightly, mild, has been going on all day. And this is once again bringing up the fact, like, do earthquakes are just like an average thing in Japan? Because Mizuriro doesn't seem that upset by the fact, like, oh yeah, there's been this mild earthquake going around all day, and not a single news organization has reported on it. Isn't that a little bit weird? And that doesn't even make any sense anyway. Like, yeah, the cause of the earthquake may be unknown, but the fact remains that there's still an earthquake that's happening. So I understand this probably isn't the same thing like plate tectonics and everything, but somebody should get on the news and be like, hey guys, there's a weird unexplained earthquake going on in the entire world at once. And, aside from that, wouldn't the earthquake interrupt normal radio broadcasts anyway? The news anchors are being like, today in sports news. I mean, I already made a whitest kids you know joke in the last video, so just go watch this video if you want a taste for how exactly that would work out. And the last thing we cut away to is, of course, the Vonente, which is crumbling apart as we see a bunch of random soldat fodder staring around wondering if this is the Highness's will, if he wishes the destruction upon us along with the Soul Society. Oh, okay, random soldat soldier number 6421. How the fuck are you guys still alive? That's question number one. You guys should have all died a long time ago. Aside from the fact the fighting has long since ended, I would have, like, after all the fighting's ended and you saw Yuha go up to the Soul Palace, I would have just been, like, punching my time card and go back home. I mean, you guys are dedicated to their craft. And secondly, I just love his proclamation, like, Yuha, did you wish destruction upon all us as well? I mean, when Basby was saying that, it sort of had some weight behind it, because Basby was a Sternritter, which was supposed to be Yuha's, like, elite force. For Yuha just to abandon members of the Sternritter, that's a big deal. That's like turning on your, like, the guys, your bros, basically. But the Soldat were... okay, let's face it, you guys are essentially the stormtroopers of the Bleach universe, okay? So, you know, random Soldat guy, I'm sorry, but yeah, you're probably gonna die pretty soon. Hey, I take offense to that. Stormtroopers are a very viable part of the Empire, and we then cut to Basby very briefly. He doesn't say anything. He's just kind of leaning on a piece of rubble, and he's just kind of like deep in thought, thinking about the shit that's just going on currently, how the earthquake is going on. I'm sure he probably knows that, like, Yuha succeeded and the Soul Society's crumbling, and he's realizing that they've all just been used by him to enact this kind of mean, and I don't know what he's going to do. I'm sure Basby's going to do something, but he has no powers anymore, so I don't know what he could really do in this situation, unless he gets his powers back somehow. We cut back to the 12th Division, where Renji is continuing on about how it's so hopeless, and I guess everything's going to end now. Like, there has to be something we can do, right, guys? And then we cut to Ukitake, whose back begins to become shrouded in this, like, tangible shadow that starts appearing around him. And everyone seems to start noticing that, and they're like, okay, Ukitake, what's up, bro? And, you know, Ukitake just strikes this very serious glare, and he's just like, I shall replace the Soul King. Boom! Called that shit, Dance! Hey, I remembered to do it this week. I always forget. I can't tell you how many times I've read a chapter and I've thought, oh man, that would be a good place to do a Call That Shit Dance. That'd be a good place to do the Shoulda Gone Bonkai. But I always consistently forget. So you know what? I don't know, Basby, you shoulda gone Bonkai. Random Soldat, you shoulda gone Bonkai. And Mizuriro, you shoulda gone Bonkai. Because, you know, you are the crazy little pretty boy and... Alright, listen up. I just want to... You know what? Hold on a second. Hold on! Give me 2 seconds! We're doing a real time here, alright? Okay, probably had to throw a jump cut in there at some point, but whatever, I don't care. Hope you got some, like, golden grams or something for you to eat in the meantime. Okay, sorry to derail the review like this, but there's something about Mizuriro I've been wanting to know for years, ever since I got this. This is Bleach Souls. This is the first data book for Bleach that was ever released, and I'm just going to pull up Mizuriro's entry. Okay, right here. I don't know if you can see it that well, okay? So... this is Mizurio's entry right here, and I'm just going to read it for you because you can see that there's this little censor bar right here. He has a cute face, but he's actually, you know, censor. He's usually with Keigo, but their relationship... Okay, that's always bugged me right there, that he's going to turn out to be, like, I don't know, like a fucking... I don't know. It's bugging me. I don't know. So, fill in the blank. I don't care. Make it the funniest thing. Make it the most perverted. I don't care, but fill in that blank for me, please. Somebody, God. All right, can we get back to the chapter? Okay, let's do that. But anyway, since Ukitake's statement here is essentially, oh, don't worry about God dying, everybody, because I could just take his place. Uehara is a tad skeptical about this. Can you do such a thing, Ukitake? His response to this is essentially that I'll explain everything later because we're kind of in the shit pickle right now. So he starts taking off his Shihakusho, removing his Captain Haori, revealing a bunch of bandages on his back. They start coming off, and we get this weird tangible shadow-looking eye thing that resembles the Kamikake from Chapter 605. Remember how he was, you know, obscured in that shadow, and the shadow had that, like, that huge eye on it that kind of resembled Envy's eye from Fullmetal Alchemist, or I guess Alucard's eye from Hellsing, or I guess the Key Shinashira from Soul Eater. Damn, there's a lot of anime characters that have, like, that big eye as, like, a foreboding sign of their power. But anyway, it's like that.
Hey, I have a tramp stamp just like that.
Ukitake then unsheaths his Zanpakuto Sokyo no Kotowari and begins stating a chant. Mimi Hagi-sama, Mimi Hage-sama, Mimi Hage-sama. Open the power of thine eyes, the power of thine eyes which is buried within my organ. Hey, no, wait, that's not cool, Ukitake. You can't be spouting your religion down other people's throats, okay? You don't know what Uehara and Ruki and Renji, you don't know what they practice. You can't just start there chanting your religion like it's fact to everybody. I mean, come on. Actually, no, it turns out to be completely real, because as Ukitake finishes his chant, the Kamikake springs from his back, emitting a bunch of black fluid, or I guess it could possibly be blood. I'm not really sure what the hell this thing's made out of, but it takes an eye shape. That's what's important. Everybody is shocked by this, even the captains in Uehara, indicating that this is something that even in the Seirete you don't see every other day. This This is pretty out there. So we get the title page, Mimi Hagi-sama, which, by the way, in case you're curious on the translation on this, it's a little bit weird. Mimi in Japanese just means ear or hearing, which is odd considering that it's an eyeball that takes the prime area. Mei means eyes, so I guess it could be just E's instead of eyes, but I'm sure like every translation I've read says Mimi instead of Mei, so I'm assuming it's Mimi. Hagi is also odd because it means like shin, or it can also mean a joint, or if you're going to like another completely different definition of a Hagi is a Japanese clover. So, I'm trying to put these all together, and it's not making any sense for me. It's an eyeball, not an ear, and it apparently has nothing to do with a shin, a joint, or a Japanese clover. So, or I guess it could also mean autumn dress for Japanese individuals, but that's also completely askew to what this is in actuality, so whatever. We get a flashback to Rukon District number 76, where we see a temple and a younger Ukitake, who's really not looking too good. He's starting to foam by the mouth. Okay, don't worry, guys. I know what's going on here. I'm not a doctor or anything, but, from personal experience, and I'm sure every kid in the world had to do this at least once, when you get about to be about 10 or 11 years old, you try the whole Pop Rocks, Coca-Cola, see if your stomach explodes, and usually it's harmless, but in this situation, it looked like it almost killed him. But no, of course, this is because of Ukitake's very rare lung disease that he's had ever since he was a kid. A lot of people have always assumed that this was tuberculosis. Ukitake doesn't really name the disease itself. I still find it amazing that kids can extract diseases in the Rukongai, as in, you die in the world of the living, come to the Soul Society, and you can still catch diseases, which is weird because I think Ukitake is the only one that's really seen catching a disease. Like, we've never seen any other character catch so much as like the flu or the common cold. Every other injury that they've had ever since beyond Ukitake's illness was always like battle injuries, like Byakuya's in the hospital, but that's because he just got the shit kicked out of him by Ichigo. So aside from battle injuries, we've never seen people actually get legitimately sick, at least not to my knowledge. But yeah, it's because of this illness that his original black hair began to turn white, and for all intents and purposes, Ukitake should have died when he was a small child. However, his parents were the superstitious folk. I just want everyone to think about that for a second there. You die, go to the afterlife, and there are such a thing as superstitious folk while you are in the afterlife, but whatever. Apparently he was shunned by every doctor. Yeah, I talked to Law on that one too. You have something in common there. And his parents brought him to that shrine where the Mimi Hage-sama, which apparently is referred to as the Hand of the King. I'm sorry, Hand of the Soul King. Sorry, I got Game of Thrones still stuck on my brain here. Urahara exposits that it's revered as like a god in District 76 of Eastern Rokongai known as Reverse Bone, which is where Ukitake hails from. Basically, you present offerings to the Kamikake, and then it, like, possesses you to a degree. Like, for example, his lungs were diseased, so his parents presented Ukitake to the Kamikake, and that took its lungs, or possessed his lungs, in order to keep the sickness at bay, because he still exhibits the sickness in his life. It's not like the sickness is completely gone, it's just, like, abated to a degree. But, yeah, essentially, it's, like, connected to the Soul King in some way. If I was going to say something, I would say that the Soul King's main purpose is to be up there, immobile, and channel the souls from like back and forth between the Soul Society and the living world, but maybe this Kamikake is like the part of the Soul King that can actually physically affect the members of the Soul Society as like an actual deity, like I bestow upon gifts to you, or you sacrifice something to me and I can get like the part of the Soul King that can actually do stuff, considering that the main body is immobile. I could also bring up to the fact that the Soul King doesn't have any arms, and now here we go, although I don't know if the left arm is going to be indicated of everything, because this is like just the right arm right here. So whatever. Actually, you know what? Hold on. I just realized something. The eyeball, yeah, it does look like, Alucard's eye and Ashura and everything, but it looks like something else, and I can't quite put my finger on this either. It's more of just like a... Oh god, no, not him. Well, how you doing, Gote13? So who's the lucky son of a bitch who asked me to come down here and pervert the laws of gods and men? No! We don't need you here, Bill. Go back to your weird demonic realm of children's programming and never return. Oh, okay, good. We got rid of that guy. Okay, now moving on. Okay, bro. Option number 1. Hipster rad teching. Oh, okay. Okay, no. No. We're not doing different personas of my personas, okay? That's getting a little bit too complicated and convoluted there, buddy. Even I have limits. Oh yeah, like your plot lines aren't already confusing enough. Like, okay, smart teching was good, but then he turned evil, but then he got back to being good, but then he was really dark teching all along because of a time travel plot, and that me and Law and vampire teching are all creations of him, but where did smart teching come from? Like another universe or something? That would make absolutely no sense. Okay, wait, hold on a sec. Did you just say smart teching is dark teching? Yeah, did you watch it? You know what? Fuck it. I don't care. I'm keeping the hat. Yeah, okay, have fun with that. I need to think about that for a couple days. Okay, so, right. Continuing with Ukitake's explanation, thanks the Kamikake for allowing him to live on and even eventually become a captain of the Gotei 13, so he's very grateful for its assistance. He then coughs up a mountain amount of blood from his lungs, and he states that because the Kamikake has been removed, basically the ill effects of his lungs are now fully occurring in full swing, uninhibited. Yes, all my internal organs are now possessed by Mimi Hage. I am now no more or no less than just the right arm of the Spirit King himself. And states that now he's pretty much just a vessel, and he only wants to do now at this point is just die for the honor and the glory of the Soul King.
Releasing control alt restriction systems. 3, 2, 1. Approval of Situation A recognized. Commencing the Cromwell invocation. Ability restrictions lifted for limited use until the enemy has been rendered silent.
So the Kamikake erupts a hand from him, and then Ukitake just starts yelling out in sheer pain and agony, coughing up more blood. Oh, God bless you, Ukitake. Actually, wait, if Ukitake is going to be God, that doesn't mean he's blessed himself. I mean, how does that work? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, he seems to be in a massive amount of pain here, and I'm not really sure where this is going. If, like, the Kamikake is going to completely, like, overlap his personality so that when he becomes the Soul King, he's not really Ukitake anymore, or if he'll physically die and then become the Soul King. I don't know how that works. Although I will bring up an interesting fact here that this leaves an opening in Squad 13, which Ichigo could possibly fill if that's the route that Kubo's going to go with it to the end of the series, just bringing that up there. Ichigo being Captain Squad 13, Rukia being Lieutenant, that kind of loops back around there, but I'm really happy with it. Okay, now, hold on, guys. We need to gather ourselves here, because this shit is pretty good. This is a good chapter this week. Really good, solid chapter. We got to learn about Ukitake's Kamikake thing, which, you know, was just revealed in 605, so not very long ago. Kubo's catching up with this stuff pretty easily. He's not doing that thing where he reveals something 50 chapters ago and we don't find out until, like, recently. I just really think because he's running out of time here, he doesn't have time to do that. But now we get to the end of this chapter, and I'm pretty sure we all know where this is going, but I just wanted to prepare you mentally for where we're going with this. It's a quiet, dark, foreboding-looking place. We see a single voice echoing through the darkness. The rumbling is reaching all the way down here. For Serete, it's nearing the end of the end. You can hear it, right? Reveal that this voice is in fact Shunsui Kyoraku, who is apparently at the very bottom of, I would assume, either the Central 46 or the underground prison. But wherever he is, it's pitch darkness anyway. But you, on the other hand, you can hear my voice from over there. Oh, God damn it, really? 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 He has his eye patch back on again. Last time we saw him, he didn't have it for like 2 consecutive panels, and now he had... Kubo! I was doing like a foreboding thing here, and I just noticed that, and you have to... Can you get one guy? Can you hire like one guy to be your assistant that can just double check to make sure that this fucker's eye patch is on when you draw him? Okay? Really? Alright, just... Damn it. Okay, going back to the forebodingness. Okay, here we go. But you, on the other hand, you can hear my voice from over here, can you not? Answer me. Sosuke Aizen. Dun 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 dun! Okay, so... He's back! And the way Kubo's going with it, the way he's, you know, tying all these things together, these last few chapters, I don't think the next chapter is going to be a cop-out where we don't get any, you know, any reference to this scene at all. I think next chapter, we're going to see the guy. We're going to see Sosuke Aizen. It's probably not going to be until the very end of the chapter, you know, where we cut back, well, like, for the most of the chapter, we'll cut to the Soul Palace or something, and at the very end, we'll see Aizen emerging from the shadows, and he'll be all tattered, and his hair will be, like, as long as, like, from a glam rock band or something. You know, also, I was thinking, wouldn't it be fucking hilarious if, you know, Shunsui's going down there and he's all be like foreboding and he's just like, Aizen Sosuke. And it turns out that Aizen left like a long time ago. Like, he just like, as soon as the Quincy's invaded and he was freed, he's like, I'm packing my bags and I'm leaving. I'm gone. I'm out of this, okay? And, you know, Shunsui is just literally talking to the darkness right now. I'd find that pretty funny. But yeah, I mean, it makes sense what Shunsui's doing. He's basically like at the end of his rope because the world is pretty much ending at this point. I mean, at that, you know, in that situation, your worst enemy becomes your best friend, does it not? Because it's just like, okay, Aizen, look, if you became a god, or you became closest to a god as we can possibly be. So, we need your help on this. And if you don't want to help us, fine, but you're going to be, set into non-existence along with everyone else. The world is ending. All worlds are ending. So basically, we're going to free you if you can help us. Go and see if you can do something about this. Because Aizen, he still has the Hogyoku. I mean, it was never taken out of him. It was never established that, he could die or anything like that. So, by all intents and purposes, Hogyoku's still in him. He might be able to attain that, level of godliness again. I don't know. But what do you guys think about this? What do you think Shunsui's going to ask Aizen? What do you think Aizen's response going to be? Do you think Aizen's even down there? And what are your thoughts on Ukitake and the Kamikake? Kind of a slam dunk chapter, really. I can't, it's kind of a good, kind of a good, expositionary chapter considering what we've gotten from the past ones. It's kind of disconcerting when chapter 611 featured, Yuha stabbing the Soul King, and it's like, whoa, the Soul King's dead. Can't go anywhere from here. Literally 5 chapters later, and we haven't really expanded much from that one scene, really at all. So, yeah, it's good that we're kind of moving forward finally. Also, next chapter is chapter 617, where I made the prediction that Yushiro Shihoin will die. So, cross my fingers on that one. We'll see what goes on. And if he doesn't die, I'll do a penalty game or something. Leave some ideas on that below. And don't ask me to go jump off a cliff or something because, I'm not doing that. But if something can come up rather doable that won't cause any serious physical harm to my being, then I might consider doing that. But anyway, thanks for watching this video, guys. Tekking101 signing out.